Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Craft Beverage Media, where we introduce you to another online tool that you can use to benefit your craft beverage business. Now, today we're talking about one of my favorites, which is the online tool called Flipboard. If you're not familiar with Flipboard, we've brought on today software developer and founder of JustMyBytes, Todd Lebeauc. And Todd is a curator of multiple Flipboard magazines, and so we felt that he would be ideal to give us a brief understanding of Flipboard and then how we can best apply Flipboard to our craft beverage business. So Todd, welcome to the program.
Thanks. Nice to be here.
Well, I tell you what, the first question for those who are with us, who are going to be watching and they don't know what Flipboard is, or maybe they heard about it and just didn't take a look at it, tell us, what is Flipboard?
In a nutshell, Flipboard is a curation and publishing tool. You can pull information from any website and also YouTube videos, basically any type of media that's on the internet, and organize it into what they call magazines, restructure it in a form that's fitting either private curation for yourself, much like a reading application, or for public or private dissemination to other people that might be interested in the topic at hand.
You mentioned that it was an application. How many platforms will Flipboard cover?
Flipboard is viewable on iOS devices, so iPhones, iPads, all the versions from, it runs on an iPhone 4 and up, and on an iPad 2 and up, with iOS 7 and above, obviously. Since that's the standard right now. It also runs on BlackBerry devices, it runs on Windows devices, it runs as an app within the Windows Store if you're running Windows 8.1. And it also runs on any modern web browser, whether it be Safari, Chrome, Internet Explorer, or Firefox. Right, the big four. So,
and I know it was initially designed for mobile, correct? Which is beneficial since most search now is with mobile.
It was originally designed, if I remember my history correctly, one of the founding members was with Apple, and when he left Apple, he took his experience with iOS devices and ported it first to iOS and then beyond that. Okay. But yeah, it was originally designed for mobile, especially for tablets.
Right. Now, at Craft Beverage Media, we have a Flipboard magazine on our website. It's called Craft Beverage, where we curate news and information about the craft beverage industry. And I remember the first time I was introduced to Flipboard, just the great variety of content that was on Flipboard. Is there a relationship, before we get into how a business could use Flipboard, is there a relationship between Flipboard and basic search, like a Google search or Yahoo search?
Well, I know that Flipboards are coming up more and more in Google search. And of course, within the Flipboard app itself, you can search for anything. They've got their own search systems tied to the big ones, obviously Yahoo, Bing, and Google being those. And then of course you just find topics, and they'll start recommending topics based on a whole set of criteria, from relevancy to number of readers to, again, the algorithm that they use is pretty complex.
All right, so for any business that wants to add Flipboard to their social media platform, their outreach, how could a craft beverage business utilize Flipboard to help grow their business? Is that something that that tool could help them with?
Absolutely. And without any hesitation, it's an absolute they could. Obviously, a lot of people and a lot of companies use web presence, domains, blogs, things like this. Flipboard is a highly engaged audience. The beauty of it is that you're basically designing your own magazine with content that either you curate from outside sources or from your own sources. So as an example, I was just at the Minnesota State Fair and was able to sample lots of different malted beverages from the Minnesota Brewers Guild, which obviously does beers and even hard ciders, things like this, and even root beer. Now the guild itself could have a Flipboard magazine, but then any one of the brewers that are members of the guild could have their own Flipboard magazine, highlighting not only maybe their specific offerings this cycle or this season, because seasonal craft beers are very popular nowadays and growing in popularity, but also events, and bring in YouTube videos as an example into the Flipboard, commentary. It's very interactive. You can bring in Google Plus pages as a whole thing that dynamically updates. Geez, it's almost endless. So a small brewing company could not only have their content, but then if they're a member of a guild like they have in Minnesota and elsewhere, they could bring in articles from the guild they belong to, or from events across the country that they may be attending, and add it to their own magazine. So all of a sudden you're getting a very immersive, rich content stream that you then in turn put out to your general public, your audience. So it's very customizable. It's actually an amazing platform to work with.
And one thing I've appreciated about Flipboard, it seems that Flipboard is always progressing. It seems that they're a company that have a vision for where they want to be in the future, and they continually are updating and providing. I remember the first time I saw the shopping cart available on Flipboard, where you could actually present as a catalog products from your company, and a customer could see the prices right there on Flipboard.
Yep. They've got, as you advance more and more into your publishing, they've got options for working behind paywall systems, shopping, obviously. The next versions are even building on that. And it's going to get faster now with HTML5 adoptions. I was thrilled when they added video capability, because all of a sudden it was there. It was full resolution. It was amazing. It really was. And there's more coming. I've seen multiple builds of it now. And Flipboard, too, also has held events across the country where it doesn't matter if you've been publishing with them like I have from the early beta days before public release, or you're brand new as of last week. You're all the same. You're creating content, and the amount of experience between everybody, even the youngest person, newest person, just has something different to offer and how they use it, and it's amazing. Here in Minnesota,
there you go, folks. I think that Todd has convinced us that Flipboard is not only an addition to your social media, but a necessity to your social media for your craft beverage business. Well, Todd, thanks for taking a few minutes with us today. We appreciate it, and we appreciate you letting us tap into your expertise for Flipboard, and we hope we can have you back on for another online tool that we can introduce to our viewers.
Well, thank you, Brad. It's been a pleasure, and maybe see you again soon.
Sounds great. All right, everybody, don't forget to check out craftbeveragemedia.com, and there on our blog we have a list of other online tools that you can use to help grow your craft beverage business. And for Todd and for myself and all of the team at Craft Beverage Media, we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us.